There's an island off the coast of Australia that most people have never heard of.
There's an island off the coast of Australia that most people have never heard of. And I reckon that's exactly the way it wants to be. Because the last time a group of men set foot on this place, over 200 of them, not a single one was ever seen again. No bodies, no wreckage, no explanation. Just gone. I'm going to spend the next 24 hours alone out here. No food, no water, no way off. And I'm going to try and figure out what the hell happened to them. Let's get into it. Alright, so the boat's just left. Todd's taken her around the headland and I'm on my own now. First impressions. Rugged. Really rugged. Sharp coral rubble everywhere underfoot. Mangroves pushing in from both sides. The kind of place that makes you feel like the land itself doesn't want you here. It's early, maybe 6 a.m. The tide's dropping, which is good. That's going to open up the reef flat and give me the best shot at finding food before the heat sets in. But before any of that, water. You can have all the food in the world out here, and it means absolutely nothing if you've got no hydration. The rule of thumb, 2 days without water and you're done. So that's where the head's at right now. Let's take a walk and see what we're working with. So this island, I'm not going to give away the exact location just yet, but what I can tell you is that it sits in a stretch of water that's been known to mariners for centuries as one of the most unpredictable, unforgiving passages on the entire Australian coastline. Big tides, unmarked reefs, currents that can drag a vessel sideways without warning. And back in the 1800s, this was a main shipping route. Now picture this, you're a captain, you've got 200 men aboard, you're carrying cargo, supplies, equipment, everything a new settlement needs to survive. You know this stretch of water is dangerous, everyone does, but you've done it before, you trust your charts. Except your charts are wrong. I'll come back to that, but for now, let's find some water. Alright, so I've made it around to the windward side of the island. This is always the first place I head in a situation like this, because anything that's washed in, bottles, containers, coconuts, it's going to be on this side. And look, straight away. See that tide line up there? That dark line of debris running along the beach? That's where I want to be. Let's go have a look. Bit of rope, old fishing float, the usual suspects. Oh, hang on. Look at this. Water bottle. Lid's on. Give it a shake. Something in there. Let's see if it's fresh. Yeah, that's fresh. Not much, maybe 150 milliliters, but we are taking that. Every drop counts out here.
Yeah, that's fresh.
Keep going, keep looking. Broken thong, piece of net, another bottle, this one's empty. Bummer. Wait, what's this here? It's an old glass bottle. Really old.
Glass.
Now, I don't know if this has any connection to our 200 missing men, but I'll tell you what, finding something like this on a beach like this sends a shiver up your spine. We'll hold on to that. Oh, hang on. Stop right there. You see that dark shape in the shallows? That's a mud crab, a big one. He's just sitting out in the open, feeding on the reef flat as the tide drops. This is our chance. I've got to get in behind him. If I come from the front, he'll see me and bolt for deep water. I need to work around. Keep low, keep slow. He's a beauty. Look at the size of those claws. Come on, mate. Come on. Stay there. Stay there. Oh, he's turning. He knows I'm here. Don't you dare go sideways on me. Yes, got him. Wow, look at that. That is a serious mud crab. That right there, that's lunch sorted. Maybe dinner too.
Yeah.
Right, keep him cool, somewhere shaded, and let's keep moving because that reef flat is not going to stay exposed for long. So where were we? 200 men, this island, vanished. Now, there are a few theories, and I want to walk you through all of them, because honestly, each one is more unsettling than the last. Theory 1, and this is the most widely accepted one, is that the men simply couldn't find water. This island, as I'm quickly finding out for myself, is not exactly overflowing with fresh water. There's no obvious river, no creek, no well. And if you've got 200 men in the tropical heat with no hydration, the math gets brutal very quickly. But here's what bothers me about that theory. 200 men, sailors, experienced men, men who knew the sea and the land. Surely someone would have built a signal fire. Surely a passing ship would have noted smoke. Nothing. Not a single record of smoke sighted in this area in the months following the wreck. So either they all perished so fast there wasn't time, or something else happened. And that's where Theory 2 comes in. Alright, Theory 2, and this one is dark. Some historians, and this isn't fringe stuff, this is published, researched work, believe that a portion of the survivors may have encountered the local population of the islands to the north. Now, before I go any further, I want to be respectful here. This is a complex and painful part of Australian history. The relationship between shipwreck survivors and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities in this era was complicated by fear, misunderstanding, and very often by the appalling behavior of the Europeans themselves. But what the records do show, and this is documented, is that there were accounts from other vessels passing this area in the following months of seeing small groups of men, European men, living among coastal communities in this region. Whether they were taken, whether they chose to stay, or whether they tried to make it north and were never heard from again. Nobody knows. Alright, the tide is getting away from me now. It's coming back in, and I need to make the most of the next hour on this reef flat. I've spotted a stingray working the shallows up ahead. Now, stingray on the menu is not my first choice, but out here, a stingray is a serious meal. Good meat, plenty of it. The trick with these guys is patience. They can feel vibrations through the sand, so every step needs to be slow, deliberate, like you're not even there. He's moving along the edge of that coral bommy. I'm going to let him settle. Wait for him to drop into that sandy patch just in front of the rock there. That's my shot. Wait.
Damn.
Wait. Wait. Now. Ow, he turned. He turned just as I went. Bummer. He felt the pressure wave from the spear and bolted. We'll keep looking. We've got the mud crab anyway. This reef is not done with us yet. So, what happened to the survivors? Let me tell you about the one piece of physical evidence that has ever been found connected to this wreck. In the 1970s, over 100 years after the disappearance, a commercial fisherman working this area pulled something up in his net. A navigational instrument, old, corroded, but identifiable. Now, on its own, that means nothing. Old wrecks litter this coastline. But this instrument was engraved, and the engraving, once cleaned up by a conservator, matched the name of the vessel that went down in 1854. So the wreck is confirmed, right here, in this water. But what happened to the men who walked off it, that mystery has never been solved. And I think that's what draws me to places like this. Not the treasure, not the notoriety, just the idea that 200 human beings were here, struggling, hoping, and then silence. You want to try and understand that somehow.
There it is.
Oh, hold on.
Right there.
Look at this. See that flat section of rock up on the rise there? The one that's got that kind of dark staining on the surface? I want to get up there and have a look. Because, and this might be nothing, but that staining pattern, the way it's shaped, that looks like it could be the remnants of a fire. A very old fire. Heart's beating a little faster right now. Let me get up there. Yeah, look at this. This is a fire site. Old. Very old. See how the rock is blackened right in the center here? And then there's this kind of a ring where the heat radiated out? Now, this could be Aboriginal in origin. This island has been visited by Indigenous people for thousands of years, and they absolutely used fire on coastal rock platforms like this. But it could also be, and I'm not saying it is, from 1854. There's no way to know without proper archaeological investigation. But standing here, looking at this, knowing what I know about this place, man, someone was here. Someone lit a fire on this exact rock, and whoever they were, they're gone now. That's a heavy thing to sit with. This is never as easy as it looks. The spindle needs to seat properly in that notch, or you're just wasting energy. Get the angle wrong and you generate friction, but no heat in the right spot. Get the speed right, get the pressure right, keep the rhythm. Come on, come on. Smoke. That's smoke. That's actual smoke. Keep going, don't stop now. Ah, yes, look at that ember. Look at that beautiful little orange glow right there in the notch. Carefully now, transfer that into the tinder bundle. Cup it, give it air. Gentle, gentle. Come on. Yeah, we have fire. Ah, every single time. That never gets old. Every single time. Oh, wow, look at that. He has cooked absolutely perfectly. The shell has gone this incredible deep orange red. That smell. Oh, man. All right, let me get him off the coals here. Going to set him on this flat rock. Now, with a mud crab, the claws are obviously where the premium meat is, but what a lot of people don't realise is there's beautiful meat right through every single one of these legs too. You don't waste anything out here. Let's crack into this big claw first. Oh, Oh, that is perfect. Look at that meat. Beautiful white, perfectly cooked, no sand, no shell fragments. That is genuinely one of the best things I've ever eaten on one of these challenges. I'm not just saying that. The sweetness of mud crab meat, there's nothing like it. Nothing. Right, eat up, because we've still got work to do. Mangrove system, eastern side. I've walked about 400 metres around the island, and the mangroves here are thick, dense, the kind of place where visibility drops to about 3 metres, and everything smells like salt and mud, and something older than both. I'm going to dig here, right at the base of this root system, where the ground is slightly darker. That usually means moisture. Down about 20 centimetres. 30. Oh yes, feel that. You feel the change in the sand? It's cold, it's damp. Come down a bit further. Yes, there it is. Fresh water seeping in. It's slow, it's not a spring, it's more like the ground just holding on to whatever rain came through. I'm going to hollow this out, create a bit of a basin, let it fill. Give it 10 minutes and this could give us another 300 to 400 millilitres. So, the final theory. And this one, I've never heard anyone talk about this publicly. This came from a conversation I had with an old fella, a historian who's spent 40 years researching this coastline. He doesn't publish much anymore, mostly just talks to people he trusts. He told me this. There's a cave on the south end of this island. Not obvious, you wouldn't find it unless you knew where to look, or unless you were desperate and searching every inch of coastline for shelter. And in that cave, sometime in the 1980s, a group of divers doing recreational exploration of the area reported finding what appeared to be carved markings on the interior wall. Letters, numbers, a date. They photographed it. They reported it to the relevant authorities. The photographs, according to this historian, were logged, filed, and have not been seen publicly since. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm really not, but the idea that somewhere on this island there might be a wall with a message carved into it by a desperate man in 1854, that's not nothing. That's someone saying, I was here, we were here, remember us. Oh, this one's different. This one goes back and it bends. There's light coming from inside, which means it opens up. I'm going in. The ceiling drops here, have to get right down on hands and knees, sharp edges everywhere. But it opens up, just like I thought. It's about 3 metres across, maybe 2 metres high at the top point. The walls are, look at this, the walls are smooth, like they've been worn smooth by water or by hands, or both. I'm moving the camera around the walls now. There. Oh my, there are markings on this wall. Now, I want to be careful here. These could absolutely be modern. They could be from recreational visitors. They could be completely unrelated to what I'm looking for. But look at this section here, this grouping. That looks like a number. That looks like it could be a 5, and next to it, what could be an 8. 58, or maybe part of 1858, or maybe 1854. I genuinely cannot tell, and I'm not going to claim something I can't prove. But I'm going to photograph every inch of this wall, and when I get back, I'm going to get someone who knows what they're looking at to have a proper look. Because if this is what I think it might be, someone survived long enough to come to this cave and leave a mark, and that matters. Alright, fire's going, mud crab's going on, and while he cooks, I want to tell you about the part of this story that I think about the most. The captain of this vessel, the man responsible for those 200 lives, he was not on the island when it all went wrong. He survived the initial wreck, made it onto the ship's tender with a handful of senior crew. Now, the accounts differ on what happened next. Some say he attempted to sail for help, some say he simply left. Either way, he made it, he survived, he eventually reached civilization. And when the inquiry came, because there was an inquiry, he gave his account. The reef was uncharted, he said, the currents were unusual, he did everything within his power to save his men. The inquiry found no fault. He lived out the rest of his life in relative comfort. 200 men gone, 1 captain absolved. History is a strange thing. Back at camp now, sun's going down. The signal fire's ready, 3 big piles of dry wood flunch and dry palm fronds in a triangle formation. If anything goes wrong tonight, that's how Todd finds me. The water situation, we ended up with just over a litre total from all sources combined. Rock pool, washed in bottle, mangrove seep. A litre for 24 hours in this heat. Survivable, uncomfortable, but survivable. The mud crab kept me going all day. I've got a bit of meat left, I'm saving that for the morning. And now I'm just sitting here, fire going, full moon coming up over the water. Thinking about 200 men. Did they sit like this? Did they have a fire on this beach? Did someone, one person maybe, scratch a date on the wall of that cave and then walk back out into whatever came next? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. But I think that's kind of the point. Some mysteries stay mysteries. Some silences are permanent. All you can do is come out to a place like this, sit in it, try to feel what it might have felt like, and remember that they were here. They were real. Made it through the night. Sun's up. Todd's coming around the headland now. I can hear the motor. This island gave me a mud crab, a litre of water, a cave full of questions, and a story I'm not done with yet. I'm going back to those markings, properly, with the right people, and when I find out what they are, you'll be the first to know. If you want to see more episodes like this, I've got a whole playlist of survival challenges, links in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you on the next one.
Hello viewers, thanks for watching. Please like, support, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to leave a comment.